I think that's one thing, like you kind of hinted at it at the very beginning of our conversation when it comes to visual effects. Like in my mind, it is problem solving. It's what you're saying before about, you know, figure it out. Don't tell anyone you don't know and figure it out. It is exactly that. Like nobody's coming in. If you are coming into a project with, oh yeah, I know how exactly to do that, then I feel pity for the projects you're taking on because there's no innovation there. Whether it is even just doing a spotting session and saying, oh, the samurai gets cut in half and he falls off the horse. We'll keep the plate legs and we'll do a CG torso, and having that fun of being able to break it down and deconstruct the shot before it's ever made, like that in a lot of ways is the hard part, but also the fun part. So like, what's
Yeah.
your views on that as from a problem solving perspective?
I think you're exactly right. There's no such thing as a magic bullet or a panacea, cure all. We work and we gain experience. And I think for me, I assume it's the same for everybody. As we do a spotting session, we might liken it. Oh, this is similar to, oh, we could approach this like, but literally, and that's part of a key pipeline is we never assume everything's the same. It's not about avoiding the bumps in production, it's how we deal with them that makes all the difference. So taking a look at an effect, and really listening to the goals, what the creative goals are for it, and figuring out, also the client. Sometimes it's a matter of, I need you to execute this vision. Okay. The other times we're a creative partnership. What do you think? How can we make it even better? And it really is, like you just said, in a spotting session, looking at it. And of course you have your experience, but you don't have any preconceived notions. There is no just add water, just add hours and boom, the effects are done. I'll throw this at you as well, and I think I'm going to say this. It's not only about how it's done, it's the important thing about a project, and ultimately the thing that really makes it worthwhile. There's some high profile projects that we could all work on, but ultimately at the end of the day, what people remember is how they felt when they worked with the team.
Mm-hmm.
And the experience they had while doing that. The team and how, like, discovering those things and uncovering things and like solving problems. That's it feels so rewarding, and wow, we hadn't done it like that. So the pipeline or going in of knowing, okay, we have something that is kind of a backbone, but how do we put these tools together to facilitate this particular creative goal? That to me is super fun, because you have these tools and you can reach them in different ways, but ultimately it's about efficiently reaching them, smarter, not harder.
There's definitely been projects where I've done this in a long time, but like where the whole team is working at 3 a.m. trying to get to a deadline, and they're some of the hellish times I've ever been through. But then there's been projects where it's been exactly that, and they're some of the best times of my life. And it really comes down to whether you're doing it because of a bad decision made up top, or whatever situation you're running into, or it's all of you combined trying to like do something great. And I think that when it is for the right cause, that's when it's these memorable sessions of trying to hit a goal that you're all aligned and trying to do together, even if it is rough at the time. Like you still look back with fond memories.
Exactly. I mean, it may be that one facility shut down and you're working somewhere else that just got charged with finishing 8 months of work in 2 months.
Or they cut 30 minutes out of a film 6 weeks before Superman Returns is coming out, which I know Sony was on as well. So
or you're working on a Marvel film and it's the last week, and maybe the top execs, I'm not going to use names because it doesn't really matter, the top brass hasn't looked at it yet, and this is stereo and we have notes.
mentioned Pete Drucker, so what gets measured gets managed. At the same time, talking about framework as well, like how important do you think it is for artists in the evolution of coming into this industry to further down the line to really start to track their progress and what they're doing, and have a clear idea of like where their mistakes are, self-manage if anything, and self-reflect a little bit. I'll say, just with context, that for me, like there's definitely been parts of my career that I've had massive growth spurts, and usually it was when I was able to start looking at things through the eyes of the other person, like paying attention to my supervisor and the notes that they're giving me, and anticipating like, okay, like I want this, but they want this. So what am I going to give them? I'm going to give them what they want, not, well, I think it's better this way. I can give them that permutation, but you get where I'm getting at. So I was just kind of curious
yeah.
what your thoughts are.
I absolutely know what you're getting at. And that reminds me of a very wonderful learning lesson that one of my CG soups, and it wasn't easy. And I kudos to him for how he went about it, because I was very much like you're saying, oh, I got these ideas and let me do that. I hear what you're asking for. But the thing is this, just like working with the best pipeline people, hey, I hear what you're asking for, but let me tell you what you really want. And here's why. That's great. From pipeline with this supervisor, the wisdom he imparted on me was like, hey, look, we have a lot of really smart people on the team. I feel lucky supervising you all. And I see that you have a lot of great ideas. Do me a favor. If there's something you want to try it. Mm-hmm. And the way to really sell it is, if there's something that was asked and you had another idea, go ahead and execute what we asked and then try what you want to try. And then show what we asked, and you might find what you want to try works better or worse or an alternative, but always go ahead and I know it's going to be tough in the beginning, but you'll find that people really start listening to your ideas a lot more because you're participating in the game. So when we, if we give a note, even if you think, oh, that just looks awful, go ahead and do it and execute it to the best of your ability. Then go ahead and do your version. And then if you decide to show yours and the other one, great. And if not, well, hey, good news. You have the one that we asked for, so great. So I think it was just such a, and telling an artist that, honestly, putting my leadership hat, it's not easy. And the way he went about it, I really respect it. Like, I really do. And he was a supervisor that at the time, maybe it's because I was newer to the industry. I was just like, just very nervous and things of that nature. Yeah, Alan, that really made a huge difference. As you said, like, great ideas, let's execute what's asked. And then if you're like, hey, I did this other version because I saw this, but I don't know, what do you all think? And I found that to be a really valuable lesson.
Yeah, I love that. And those are the kind of lessons that you take with you your whole career.